What's up, everyone? It's Wacko. Welcome you to week 1 of NPBA. Low tier. This week we are up against Willow RVSH or Willow Rush. I don't know. There's a V and 4 letters without a vowel sound. Confuses me. So anyway, he's our opponent this week. Bringing the Sandaconda, Skuntank, Quagsire, Virizion, Terra, Empoleon, and Wheezing Galar. In the back, they had, I believe, Salazzle, Xatu, and honestly, I forgot the other one, but this is kind of what I expected. Oh, it was Rotom Heat. This is kind of what I expected. I thought all of their Mons were very good in this matchup. The only one I didn't really prep for was Xatu, because I felt like my team just kind of dealt with Xatu no matter what was on the field. Like, half my team outspeeds it, the other half just tanks it, and the other one just pivots out. We are bringing Terra Grass and Inteleon with Snipe Shot, Terra Blast, Air Slash, and Focus Energy, holding a Scope Lens and Sniper. This is basically meant to be our endgame cleaner. Terra Grass just in case he goes Water Absorb Quagsire, which I thought was a possibility because I don't have like a lot of setup other than like crits on Inteleon and like Calm Mind Delphox. But Delphox gets a Grass Knot anyways, so I thought maybe they'd be Water Absorb. Our Delphox set is Expert Belt with Fire Blast, Psychic Noise for the Protect Salazzle, Subtoxic Salazzle, Grass Knot, and Focus Blast. Basically just a bunch of coverage to hit everything. It could two-shot pretty much everything that I saw, except for like Assault Vest Skuntank, pretty much would be like the only thing walling it, really. Our next set is a Life Orb Tauros, a pretty basic Tauros with just Body Slam and Close Combat. Trailblaze and Iron Head. Kind of like Delphox, it's just meant to like hit everything, and it's supposedly going to two-shot everything, and it can live a hit from pretty much everything except Virizion, which is, again, his Terra. Our Duraludon is Draco Meteor, Body Press, Flash Cannon, and Dragon Tail. I considered running Stealth Rock, but I was like, Xatu might come, and just in case it's like a setup set on like one of his Mons, like Sandaconda being like a Coil set, for example, I can just Dragon Tail it out. Earthquake only does like 30-ish%, so Duraludon, like, it's definitely going to get a hit off or two. I trusted it with that. Our next mon is going to be Terra Auroras with Terra Rock. I actually forgot to slap an actual Terra on it. So, oopsie daisies on my part. We're running Refrigerate with Hyper Voice, Ancient Power, Earth Power, and don't remember. My original set was Assault Vest, but I ended up putting Lumberry on it for Salazzle. I'm kind of like specially defensive for Salazzle, so basically it's like my switch into Salazzle if I don't want one of my other mons to get a Toxic Poison. Because my other mons in this matchup just were not very good. Pheasantipity is facing it's facing a Steel type and 3 Poison types. And I thought all 3 Poison types were pretty viable in this matchup. There's no Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz would have been okay, but it would have been pretty free setup opportunity for like Empoleon, and then I can't just like defog on it or do a lot of other things because competitive, and I really just didn't want to deal with Empoleon in this matchup. Oh yeah, my last move must have been Earth Power. Hyper Voice, Earth Power, Ancient Power, Thunderbolt, maybe? It might have been Thunderbolt, I don't know. Our last one's going to be Prinplup. We want to show Empoleon who's boss by bringing Prinplup with a Violate, Flip Turn, Grass Knot, Roost, and Defog. This is basically just kind of our catch-all defensive pivot in this game with Defog, because I'm not bringing Mandibuzz, and I didn't think the Decidueye was very good in this matchup either. Like, I really did not bring like any of my top picks. Mandibuzz, no Fez, no Decidueye. I brought a lot of my late round picks, which is very interesting from me. But yeah, getting started. Let me turn off the sound. I'm going to lead. Yeah, they're gonna lead with Quagsire. I'm gonna lead with Tauros because I was like, Tauros can two-shot pretty much everything, and if it's like Scarf Virizion, getting some chip on Virizion as soon as possible is more valuable to me than the rest of the team because, you know, and it stops Virizion from clicking a setup move immediately too because I didn't want to lead like Inteleon into this basically. Trailblaze is not going to knock out Quagsire. It's going to show me that he's not... I don't think it's a very defensive Quagsire, because I think Trailblaze said it was not supposed to do that much. Maybe it just wasn't, like, Max Fizdef. I'm assuming maybe it was, like, Spidef Quagsire. But they get up Rocks, which I'm like, oh, shoot, my Delphox is in boost. They're going to bring in Wheezing, which takes about 48% from Body Slam. I'm like, holy crap. The calc told me it took, like, 36. So I'm going to stay in and click Iron Head because Iron Head's just going to kill it. We're going to get the useless crit. My opponent at the end of the game was like, oh, but you got a crit on my Wheezing. I'm like, that did not matter. That did not matter at all. So Iron Head's going to knock it out. He's going to bring in Empoleon. I'm like, perfect. I'm going to Body Slam to bait the, like, close combat into like Surf killing me. So now I don't die to anything. Flash Cannon's gonna do 59%. I'm like, well, I could have been fine. Close combat's only gonna do 43%, as I believe they opt to Roost. I'm like, okay, my close combat did 43%. Behind Choppel, like I could potentially do like 86%. But then I apparently high rolled into like the lowest roll possible, which is really funny. Close combat's not going to knock out Empoleon. I believe Empoleon's just going to knock out me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to bring in Auroras for some reason. I really should have brought in Inteleon here. And clicked Focus Energy, I think, but I didn't really want to mess around with that Empoleon. I'm going to click Freeze Dry, just kill the Quagsire with Auroras. Auroras is going to pick up a big KO. Sacred Sword's going to knock out Auroras from this range, and now I can bring in Delphox. I'm expecting this thing to be like Scarf Virizion for Inteleon. In Terra Electric, because I don't think he'd think I'd run like Terra Ground versus him, so... Anyway, Skuntank is going to come in on the Fire Blast. I'm actually not going to get two-shot. I believe this is Assault Vest Skunk. I'm going to bring in Prinplup now, because I'm like, I think this is my opportunity to click Defog. Because I don't want Delphox to take more and more chip every time it comes in. I'm gonna defog. I'm like, oh shoot, I just activated competitive, and this is why we draft Rapid Spin, guys. Because Empoleon, this is really scary. However, I get this slow flip turn on the Roost. I'm like, okay, I think I'm fine. I go into Delphox here because I defogged. He's actually at minus evasion. I'm like, Focus Blast will connect and KO it, and if he was more defensive, I guess I should have taken more time to calc, but this game happened at like 11 o'clock at night. I should have probably went Duraludon there and clicked Body Press, but I opted to miss Focus Blast instead because they switched into Skunk. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to bring in my Prinplup now, as Poison Jab is going to poison me, and I'm pretty much just going to get knocked out. Knockoff will kill me, and now I'm going to bring in my Duraludon. He has to knock off my Violet, and I'm like, okay, I can just Body Press for chip. All I needed on that Skuntank was a little tiny bit of chip. However, they go into Sandaconda. I'm like, Sandaconda's kind of a threat. I'm going to Flash Cannon because Flash Cannon into Draco will always kill it. I'm going to end up missing Draco, which really sucks for me, as Earthquake brings me down pretty low. And Duraludon, I believe, would have lived a Sacred Sword from Virizion if I had landed. So, unfortunately, I don't get that. I'm going to Draco into the Empoleon, which actually does quite a bit, surprisingly. And I'm, like, not a very offensive Duraludon. Body Press is going to knock out the Empoleon. They're going to bring in Virizion, and I just have to sack off Duraludon now. Duraludon doesn't really do much for me. Now I can bring in my Delphox because Rock Slide won't knock me out. If they brought Stone Edge, I can bank on them missing. However, I'm going to Fire Blast into the Skunk. I do about 40%. And they get a crit on Sucker Punch, which really sucks because I was calculating this thing to be like pretty spit F. And if he wasn't max attack adamant, then he pretty much, like, he should not have been able to kill me with Sucker Punch there, which kind of sucked for me. And now I have to bring in my Inteleon. He goes for the Sucker Punch again. I'm like, perfect, because most people I think are prepping for like this Specs Inteleon, and a Sucker Punch into a Virizion hit would be able to KO me. So I go for the Sucker Punch, or I go for the Focus Energy. They get off the Sucker Punch. I kind of considered clicking Focus Energy again, not gonna lie, but I was like, I don't need to risk it, because basically I'm at the point where I either win this game or I lose, and pretty much, yeah. So I'm gonna go for the Snipe Shot. I always get a critical hit because I am Focus Energy boosted with Scope Lens and Snipe Shot. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit overkill. I don't think I need a Scope Lens. I think Focus Energy plus Snipe Shot is 100% at 100% crit rate. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but that should be the case. They're going to go into Virizion here, and I'm going to Terra Grass, because Terra Grass will allow me to, I believe, live any hit. I'm going to Air Slash. I'm just going to go for that flinch. Sacred Sword's not going to kill me, because Virizion is a weak piece of shit. And Snipe Shot's just going to knock him out. To be honest, that Snipe Shot was a roll in his favor to live. But considering my Delphox got crit Sucker Punched, considering I like max rolled into like very low rolled on the Empoleon, considering I missed Draco Meteor, I do think the Hex was like, I needed something there. And now because Inteleon's faster than Sandaconda, I just Oko with Snipe Shot. I was actually like so worried that Sandaconda got like Sucker Punch or something, or like, I don't know, like what it could get, honestly, but yeah, Inteleon's gonna pick up the last 3 KOs, and we're gonna end up winning, showing him that Prinplup is indeed better than Empoleon. And yeah, good game to Willow. Really close game. I think a pretty decent game. They do think they made some misplays, and I think like maybe they did. They should have maybe went Sandaconda on Tauros pretty early. But considering I was clicking Trailblaze, I guess maybe they didn't want to risk Trailblaze doing a lot of damage to Sandaconda, because Sandaconda was pretty good into my team initially. I mean, I didn't really bring a lot of mons that were weak to Sandaconda, but Sandaconda was an issue for me, especially. And yeah, next week I believe we're facing Mega Hornets. I'm not sure if that's their actual name, or if I think their actual name is like Manchild or something, but that's our opponent, and hopefully we can pick up another victory there. This one was very close, 4% Inteleon, really clutching it for me. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.